I do think it is a bubble in some sense, but I think anytime any new technology comes, there will be a bubble will form. It's not a question of it's a bubble or not, or like it's more a question of how big the bubble is.
But when I was working at Meta, like Meta has so many software engineers that each person is replaceable. Like as soon as I left my team, everything is fine. They can find another senior engineer. So like I'm not really needed at Meta. So I thought maybe if I find a job where I feel needed, then I will feel more fulfilled and I can find purpose.
So I'm actually very different from Ray. Like for me, like I'm perfectly fine being like just like in Facebook, I'm just like another cog in the system, and I'm fine with that.
Is there any tips for just saving up money?
I think the biggest thing is if you're at like a point where you're making income, always save. Like always save for retirement and invest in stocks. That's like the number one. It's almost always more useful to focus on learning how to get more money than it is to save money.
Yeah.
Income is always be your first priority.
지금 잠실로 왔습니다.
Hello.
Nice to meet you again. My name is Hee-chan. Hee-chan? Yes.
Nice to
Nice to meet you again.
Should we get going to the uniform?
Yeah, sure.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you? How are you?
I'm doing good.
You arrived yesterday? Or?
Oh no, I arrived like last week.
Oh, really? Yeah. Have you ever been to Korea before?
No, this is my first time.
Did both of you have a uniform in your high school life?
No, uniforms are really rare in the US. Have you rented a school uniform before?
This is my first time to renting.
You're just sleeping. But also, do you have multiple copies of uniform? Because you have to wash it.
Yeah, sure.
And did you have with the vest and jacket? Or
Sure.
All the.
Yeah.
It also like changes based on the season, right? Like,
Yeah. Like summer and spring, and autumn and winter. It's different.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought about it.
To be clear, my only real experience for uniforms is like watching anime and stuff. I don't know how real that is.
On this way, maybe?
This is the last challenge. Is to find our way out.
I can only see the green sign. I can't read anything else. So.
Left side, maybe.
Oh.
Thank you.
So just for the video, could you introduce yourself
Oh,
briefly?
yeah. Sorry, give me a second.
Oh, okay, sure. Then Ray will give you a preview.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you want me to? Okay.
Sure.
My name is Ray. I'm currently a researcher at Seoul National University. I graduated college with a master's 5 years ago. So I worked at Meta for 4 years and left as a senior software engineer. I worked on Messenger and Instagram products. And now I'm doing research in machine learning.
Wow.
So I'm working with a professor at SU.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Okay. Take your time.
I'm Arun. I'm visiting from San Francisco. I've been working at Meta for about a year. I work on the ads privacy team and products that increase like transparency about how users' data is used and things like that. Before on Meta, I spent some time working at Stellantis, the car company. I've also spent some time working at Twitter with Logged Out Space, and before that, I got my bachelor's of computer science at Purdue University.
And you're now in 롯데월드.
Yes.
There's a lot of debates on the AI is a bubble or not. How the viewers' opinion of that?
So, to be honest, like, even though I am a software engineer, I would not consider myself very knowledgeable on like AI. Like, my opinion is, I do think it is a bubble in some sense, but I think anytime any new technology comes, there will be a bubble will form. It's not a question of it's a bubble or not, or like it's more a question of how big the bubble is. I do think AI is very clearly shown to have very amazing applications. Like, for example, even like being here, like I know basically no Korean, and I was surprised like how easy it is for my phone, like the translation apps on my phone to I just open up the translate app and point it and it'll automatically translate. And it's incredibly convenient. And I've been very impressed that like even like 4 or 5 years ago, this technology, it would exist, but it would be much slower and it wouldn't work as well. So like, it's clear that this technology has so many applications, but also I think there is an upper limit. Oh yeah.
So it was first time trying Korean fried chicken in Korea,
Yes.
right?
Really?
Yeah.
Should we keep talking or?
If you want, is it okay?
Yeah. If I think about AI bubble, in the AI field we have a term called AI winter, because in the history of AI development, there were some periods where we made a lot of promises. Like even the 1990s or before that, they were like, oh, AI will be able to replicate everything a human brain can do just because we have the neural network or the perceptron. And then when the promises of AI did not pan out, then there's an AI winter of like, the first one was maybe over 10 years. Like no one wants to invest in AI, no one wants to make progress in AI because they made so many broken promises. So at least 2 times it's already happened. So everyone withdrew all the funding from AI. So I think there's still a risk of happening now. I think a lot of people think it won't happen again because there's so much momentum or there's so much money in it right now. But I think it's still a risk that maybe it seems like we're developing very fast right now, but if we hit like a plateau in the S-curve, people like to say like technology follows a sequence of exponential S-curves. If it plateaus again, then people lose some confidence or they lose their investment or something. So then people get disillusioned by AI. I think it's possible that it will happen again, but I don't know for sure.
I personally think it's more likely than not that it will.
Even if it can be the bubble, but it's already on our life. You know?
Yeah.
I think you'll never go back to the previous state of how AI was before. We'll always be able to make progress over time.
So how both of you guys use the AI?
I used to not use ChatGPT at all. Like last year, I never used ChatGPT. And I only started using it at work this year. And now I use like Cursor. There's a code editor that uses LLM to autocomplete your code. So that I found that really helpful. And now I ask ChatGPT some questions, but I'm still, personally for me, I'm still very hesitant to rely on ChatGPT for anything. So I always have to double check. So it always costs me time anyway.
Yeah.
To check what ChatGPT is. Yeah.
For me, my number one thing is Meta has an internal LLM called MetaMate. I use that for work all the time. So especially mainly for the coding, it's like an alternative to like Cursor and stuff.
Do people like it now? Like when I was using it last year, people had a lot of complaints about using MetaMate.
People still have complaints, but people still use it because it's very useful. My job would take a lot longer, I would be a lot slower if I didn't have MetaMate. Thank you. So it's mostly for me in the professional sense. I don't use it as much for day-to-day.
What is the point that you think people say like AI is useful?
When do people say that?
Yeah.
I think in general technology becomes useful when it becomes easier to use than the previous technology. So like in school we learned that there is like a wave to adopt a new disruptive technology. There's a distribution of people who are using the new technology. So the first early adopters are people willing to incur some inconvenience to try the new technology. And usually the new technology is worse than the current technology in some, by current metrics, but better in some other like hidden dimension. But once enough people have adopted the new technology and it matures, then the new technology becomes better in all dimensions. And that's when everyone starts using the new technology. So like, when we move from mainframe computers to personal computers, PCs, the PCs is not as powerful as the mainframe. That's right. The main advantage is like everyone can have their own PC, so you don't have to centralize and manage using mainframe computer together. But everyone developing mainframe computers is just measuring their computing power. So they think PCs is worse because they have less computing power. So not many people use the PCs. Only people with a special niche use case want to use the PCs. But as more and more people use the PCs, eventually the PC has more computing power than a mainframe, right? So I think same thing with AI and any other technology. Now AI is so widespread, but for a long time we had GPT 2.0. That was very impressive. Like I was not that surprised by ChatGPT because I remember when GPT 2.0 came out, I think in 2017, 2018 maybe, that was really shocking in the research community. Like it could write whole speeches by itself, and that was like a landmark moment. But I think normal people did not hear about GPT 2.0 when it came out, but I think that was the most groundbreaking turning point. But that was still many years before ChatGPT when they made an application.
Yeah, like the reason why ChatGPT is so good is it's a very simple, it's just a website, anyone can go to it and they can type it and like anyone can use it. There's no like learning curve or anything like that. Well, there is, but like for the most basic things, there's a very little learning curve, and like that's why it's popular. Like even like several weeks or months before GPT came out, I'm pretty sure Meta had their own like llama based chatbot, right?
Before ChatGPT?
Yeah, they like released something. I'm pretty sure it wasn't very successful, or like, it wasn't very intuitive. But it worked when ChatGPT came out, or ChatGPT worked because it's very intuitive and like it's easy to use. And the most important thing is like being able to like capture the second group of people, like the intermediate users, not necessarily like the power users.
Is this spicy?
It is spicy. It's
I
spicy.
just choked on the back of my throat. I swallowed it wrong, so I got caught.
It seems like professor.
Me?
Yeah, you're talking.
And the best?
Yeah.
Do you teach a class in?
No, I don't do that in class.
You're not a TA.
Not a TA, yeah. And I'm not a professor. I'm not an expert on AI by any means. Like, I just read books when I was in high school. So probably what I read was also outdated by now. But there's some very famous books by like Ray Kurzweil. He
yeah,
wrote
yeah.
The Singularity is Near or The Age of Spiritual Machines. Or Nick Bostrom wrote Superintelligence. So those are kind of books I read in high school. Our high school had a special research program where every Wednesday you can go and do research instead of taking classes. So like some people did laboratory experiments, some people did like biology research, and I just read books on AI. So it was not like real research, but that was my program.
So both of you are interested in the computer science at your young age?
I've been interested for a while. I actually didn't know Arun was interested in computer science in high school.
I didn't really know what I wanted to do until freshman year. I took a programming class, and I'm not really interested in necessarily even computer science as like a field, like in any specific thing like AI. It's just when I first started programming, I was like, oh, this is fun, and like I feel like it's something I'm both good at and I enjoy. So I'm like, I decided I want to do that for the rest of my life. It's really as simple as that. Like I just took my first programming class and I enjoyed it. It just felt like it came very naturally.
My parents were software engineers, so when I was 9 years old, my dad showed me a Python program because in elementary school we had to take the multiplication test. Like you should multiply, like do 100 multiplication problems as fast as you can. So my dad made a short Python script to just test me, help me practice multiplication, and then he showed me the script. So from that age, I started reading the Python tutorial. And over like a couple years, I read through the whole Python tutorial, which is very well written, even for like a kid. So I think that really helped me. And then in middle school, I learned Java. I say learned because I couldn't actually make anything useful, but I went through the whole tutorial. And so I was programming for a while, but I still didn't decide what I wanted to do until I applied to college, and I thought computer science is the default option for me, like I'm interested in. But I'm still not sure that I want to study computer science. But I think, yeah, I'm very interested in computer science, so I think it was a good decision.
Then, like, I'm just really curious about this question. So I think both of you are really live your life hard. So what is one of the motivation that you live your life hard?
I think, to be honest, for me, like, I just my entire life has been like my parents are very like academically focused, so like they really instilled like folks like, oh, you study hard now, and then like later in life, like you will get rewards. And I mean, I think for the most part, it's been true. It's been an up and down journey, but like I think for me, it's really just like this is how I was raised, and this is just how I continue to work life. Sometimes, like if I'm not like working, like I almost feel guilty sometimes. Like I feel like sometimes I want to be more productive, but that's just kind of like how I am, I guess, at this point.
So what do you mean by live life hard?
Both of you are going to a big tech company. That means I think like live hard and work hard.
Actually, I think for me, going to a big tech company was not a goal or not like a big challenge, because when I was in college, I told myself I did not want to work for Facebook or Google because it was super like boring, or everyone goes into that.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do something more interesting, but I ended up at Facebook anyway, like because it was the easy path for me actually, because I interned at Microsoft first. And then I got a referral to Facebook, and then I took a full-time return offer from Facebook. So that was always the easiest path for me. So because I didn't want to put more effort into finding a more special job, then I ended up at Facebook. So in my view, it's like I took the easy path out and not like taking the challenging path.
But this is the challenge that you are living in Korea?
Yeah, so now I think it's more challenging that I moved to Korea and I'm trying to do research. I think that is more of a challenge for me.
Then what is the motivation to the challenge?
I think I'm not sure what I want like purpose of my life to be. So like long term, I don't know if I want to get married or have a family or anything. So if I don't want to do any of that, then I'm not sure what my goal is for the long term. So I thought maybe I should try to have a job that I feel very fulfilled by, like a job that I feel like I'm uniquely equipped to do and I make a special contribution. But when I was working at Meta, like Meta has so many software engineers that each person is replaceable. Like as soon as I left my team, everything is fine, right? Nothing fell apart because I left my team. They can find another senior engineer. So like I'm not really needed at Meta. So I thought maybe if I find a job where I feel needed, then I will feel more fulfilled and I can find purpose.
Do you find anything in Korea?
I'm hoping that I will still find my purpose in research, but I still haven't felt it yet. Like research is still very difficult for me, and sometimes I'm not very motivated. In Korea, I really enjoy my life right now. So like going to concerts or meeting new people, meeting very different kinds of people. I enjoy that part of my life, but I'm not sure if I can only focus on those things for the rest of my life. Then I feel like maybe the life would be kind of empty if I'm just focused on having fun experiences And if I just keep only focus on fun experiences, then maybe 10 or 20 years later, I won't feel like I did anything.
Do you have any opinion on that?
So I'm actually very different from Ray. Like, for me, like I'm perfectly fine being like just like as like in Facebook, I'm just like another cog in the system, and I'm fine with that. I think like my work is there's enough challenging stuff in my work that like I personally don't find it. It's not super important to me that I like be like the top of my field or necessarily be like the person like doing research and like doing like a unique contribution to the world. For me, I mostly care about like in the future I want to like have like get married, have a family, and just work on like it's a very basic goal, but just like being able to support my like family and stuff like that, help my parents retire, things like that. So for me, like my goals are very basic, and I just find my I don't find as much like of the intrinsic worth of like my work and more just like outside of work for me, and like just like spending time with friends and family and things like that.
So work is one of the ways to get the time, like a time free.
Yeah, so like one of the things I like about software engineering, especially at a big tech company, like even if it's hard, like there are some weeks where I have to work more. For the most part, luckily, like I like work at the office, but then after that, I don't have to work too much after work. Usually, for the most part, my weekends are free, and like I don't have to. I'm not going to be called. So that is one of the reasons why I like really do enjoy my job, and like it provides me the freedom. It both challenges me, but also provides me the freedom to like live the rest of my life the way I want it.
I think your work-life balance at big tech is quite good, like especially relative to the pay.
Yeah.
Like there are other places you can work to get more money, like get more pay, but then those you have to work many more hours. So I think something like
being a doctor or like a lawyer is like you can make like crazy amounts of money, but those are also professions that like you might be working throughout the entire night.
Yeah. Or even as a software engineer, like working at a startup or working at a proprietary trading firm, like you may make a lot more money, but you have to work like double the hours. So I think big tech has a very good trade-off between work-life balance and pay.
I worked at because unlike Ray, I worked at like a lot of different places. Like I interned at Capital One for a year. I've worked at Stellantis is like a car company. It's a multinational car company. It's like half in Europe, half in America. And like that, for example, is like compared to my job now, that was very simple. But in exchange, it's also significantly less pay, especially because it's partially a European country. And like that balance is it was a little bit too much for me. I was very bored working there, for example. And like, even though like, for example, like I never had meetings after like 11 a.m. working there, partially because a lot of my coworkers were in Europe, and like it was a little bit too much like freedom and a little bit too boring for me. And like compared to that, working at big tech is a little bit more interesting. But even within big tech, like it changes a lot like based on your team. Like there are teams in like Meta specifically, like if you're working like near AI, or if you're working in like the ads business, which is like obviously like Meta's big money maker, like those teams are a lot more like you have to work a lot more hours, and like because you are the money maker, so like it's a lot more strict. Whereas my team is a little bit more like laid back compared to that. So even within the same company, you have to like find the right balance.
Then it's also just my curiosity. How do you think the money important in life?
For me specifically, money is very important.
Very important.
So I grew up middle class, but my parents especially, they came from like a very like poor place in India. So they really instilled habits of like saving money and being like very careful of what you buy. So I think a lot of that like it sounds very shallow, but honestly, like one of the things that like one of the reasons why I like this field is I make a good amount of money, and I don't have to I can live a better life than I did when I was a child. And like that is part of my motivation. So for me specifically, the money is pretty important.
I think I'm the opposite of you.
Yeah.
For me, first of all, when I was in college, I didn't care about how much money computer science people make. Actually, I was very frustrated that computer science people make a lot of money, because I thought everyone studying computer science is just trying to earn money. Not as many people are super passionate about it. Because like if you major in English or history, then the English major itself is not worth a lot of money. So only people really passionate about English will usually major in English. So I wanted my major to be like that, but computer science is not like that. And now I think the main importance of money to me is to like buy me more time. So because I have saved a lot of money from Meta, I can stay in Korea and try to do research without a lot of income. So it gives me that opportunity. But beyond that, I feel like right now money doesn't feel very important to me, because I don't have big things I want to spend it on. Like if I don't want to get married or don't want to have children and I don't want to buy a house, then there's no kind of big purchase that I need money to have. So mainly it's just allowing me to have much more time by myself, so I can live live freely.
Then is there any tips for just saving up money?
I think the biggest thing is one, if you're at like a point where you're making income, always save for retirement and invest in stocks. That's like the number one.
Yeah, you should invest. I think the
more
biggest
than
mistake ever.
more than anything, so many people just don't know to do it. Like even my parents who've been like, my dad has been working for like 30 years. Like he saves for retirement, but almost all of it is in like very like safe like savings account or stuff like that, and he just was like very scared of touching the stock market at all. But like there's a lot of ways to just like, if you put, I think the best financial advice is put money into the stock market and then never look at it and just open it up again in like 20-30 years, because like no matter what, on average you will get like your returns.
The market means like S&P 500.
Sorry.
Broad-based index funds.
I don't know how it's different in Korea, but like, or what the
Yeah, it's similar. They also have index funds.
like I'm not very knowledgeable about stocks either, and like, but like I just invest in index funds and like it works. I think in general actually, like focusing on it's almost always more useful to focus on learning how to get more money than it is to save money. Maximize income is always should be your first priority.
I think for lower income, it matters much more to budget well and to pay off debt if you have debt. Like paying debt off in the correct order is very important. But if you can get a higher paying job, then it becomes much more important to invest the money. Because the biggest mistake our peers make that make the same amount of money as us is they don't invest the money, or they invest it incorrectly. Like they have all their money in crypto, which may or may not be a good idea. I don't know if I can talk against crypto. Or a lot of my coworkers have all their money in meta stock because when we work there, they give us meta stock, and then some people don't sell it, and they keep all their money in meta stock, which I think is ill-advised, but so far it has worked out for them. So I can't talk that badly about it either, but I think those are the kind of mistakes the most common in our income.
So like making high-paying job and then invest it into the like such as index fund.
Focus on clear debt, get a higher paying job, and then invest.
And before a higher paying job, budgeting is more important. And once you start investing, then retirement accounts become more important. I'm not sure how Korea works at all, but in the US, there's multiple types of retirement accounts to avoid taxes. And understanding how those work is the next most important step, I think, after investing.
But once you're in that stage, you're probably like mostly set.
Yeah, the retirement accounts only matter for like 10 to 20% difference in your net worth at the end of the day. So the investment is the most important.
In Korea, a lot of people invest into leverage.
Oh, like taking leverage?
Yeah, it's like you don't invest in the Tesla, invest in the Tesla 2x leverage.
2x.
And like semiconductor 3x leverage.
The leverage fund, right?
Yeah, that's right.
It would become trending in the US as well.
Is that like shorts or?
No, it's you invest in an index fund that gives you 3x the return of Tesla.
Okay.
But it's because the fund itself is leveraged. But actually, it's very costly for the fund to manage the leverage. There's a lot of transaction costs to buy the derivative, whatever instruments they're using to leverage it. So I think you lose some money in that sense, and then obviously your risk is much higher.
Yeah.
So I personally really don't like leveraged funds, but I never like traded on margin either. Some of my friends also trade options. So
a lot of my coworkers do that.
Yeah.
But a lot of my coworkers do like stuff like that, or they will buy individual stocks, but they know it's not the financially correct option. They just do it because it's fun to them.
Yeah, they're doing it for fun. Yeah. Even my manager at Meta, he would like invest in Tesla stock and Microsoft stock, like just for fun. Like he had a lot of money in those stocks, but basically he gets some satisfaction if he can outperform the market, if he can make some extra money. So there's always that kind of instincts. And I've also like looked back on the past and thought like, oh well, I sold Nvidia stock in college, so I think about like, oh, if I just kept my Nvidia stock since college, that would have been like so much money. But so there's always that like instinct to want to make more money. But I think most people know that the disciplined, simple answer is just to have index funds and not use the leverage.
And also in Korea, when we earn a lot of money in the US stock, we need to pay the 22% of in the tax. But when we got profit from the crypto, we don't have to pay the tax.
Oh wait.
So that's why a lot of Chinese invest in the crypto and Bitcoin.
That feels very risky.
Yeah.
Even my sister asked me what crypto she should buy, and my sister works in finance. So I said, June, you should know that like you shouldn't like invest that much in crypto.
Yeah, she used to work at Coinbase, right?
Yeah, she used to enter.
Yeah, so she should know that it's a bad idea.
But yeah, people always want to try. I think.
Are you done?
I think I'm done. I'm actually full.
Yeah, I'm.
This is way more food than I thought. I feel bad.
So where is our next destination?
Yeah, we can try French Revolution, or we can see if any of the lines are short. We can see if it. Oh, it's also raining more now.
I'm in 롯데월드 with.
Oh, meta engineer.
Oh.
I'm sure many meta engineers have come to 롯데월드.
Yeah.
I mean, Korea is a kind of popular destination country.
Yeah, it's becoming very popular. It's funny because I think also, especially this year, after K-pop Demon Hunters became popular, like a lot of people wanted to go to Korea after that. 'Cause it's really huge in the U.S. and outside of.
Yeah.
No, I saw there was like Saja Boy's makeup early somewhere like.
Korea has always been really strong in like cultural exports. I know that was the plan of the Korean government, so I think it's worked really well. It's like they deliberately got people obsessed with Korea.
It worked. Look at us.
Yeah, so I'm here.
How is your life?
I really enjoy living in Korea. Yeah, it's really convenient. I really like using the subway to get around. It's just very different from the U.S. Like in Seattle, it was hard to visit my friends. If I try to take a bus and maybe the bus doesn't show up and stuff like that, so it's really hard to meet my friends in Seattle, but it's much easier in Korea. So that's why I really like living in Seoul.
SF is better than Seattle in terms of like public transit, but like I can see like all of my friends like pretty much everyone was like 20 like within a 25-minute bus.
And there's many more things to do in Seoul, like 노래방 or like PC bang, board game cafes. There's many more like activities because it's a bigger city.
Yeah.
I feel like Seattle is more boring, so everyone has to like visit their friend's home and just play board games or something.
I'm really surprised that the reason you choose to come to Korea is the subway.
Yeah. I mean, Subway was a really big deal for me. I mean, my friend who moved here also loves the Korean Subway. From an American perspective, it's a really special thing. I think it's a really valuable, really precious thing to me that I don't want to lose when I move out of Korea. But
Have you ever been to Japan?
yes, I visited Japan twice.
Maybe Japan has a good subway too.
Yeah, they all have a good subway. But actually, in my opinion, Korea Subway is better than Japan's.
Thank you. As a Korean.
Japan's Tokyo Subway has two different companies, like JR Rail and Tokyo Metro.
Wow.
So it's a little more complicated to like navigate, I think.
You have to change your job, software engineer to subway engineer.
Maybe I should be an urban planner or a subway planner, I think. There's even video games on.